This is the first time I've ever posted something that I found creepy that has actually happened to me. Though I have plenty of stories from ghosts, astrals, and let's not meet, I thought I would start with something that had recently happened to me. The last job I worked as a driver. Though it was not the best job, it was easy. I knew the area. I grew up in this particular city all of my life and never once doubted where I was making a delivery. This fact is important for what happens. It was a normal day and I was almost done with my shift. My boss Paul let me know that it was my last run, and from there I could run off to do whatever girls do, which was school. As I was in the zone, listening to music, I blinked, and that's when I became confused. I blinked again, and again. Where the fuck am I, was my first thought. Though I was still driving, nothing was familiar. I was lost. I felt as though I'd blanked out for a few blocks and ended up in another world. In that moment, I felt my heart race. I broke out in a cold sweat, and I was literally just a few blocks from my destination, and the next thing I knew nothing. I continued to still drive straight, but I started to panic, glancing from left to right. Walgreens, CVS, Wendy's. I knew what they were, but not the area. Nothing was clicking. I tried to think back. What was the last thing I remembered? I remembered listening to Z100. The time, wait. When I glanced at the time last, it was 2:43 PM, and now it was 3:26 PM. That's when I pulled over. I was not sure what to do. I grabbed my phone off its stand and I had no service. How did a 15-minute drive turn into nearly 40? Not only that, but with a side of what the fuck? Do I get out? Do I ask someone where I am? Do I have a meltdown? In the next moment I glanced up and I knew where I was. What happened? It was as though the area I knew all my life was wiped from my memories. One second I knew where I was, the next, the area was nothing I could recall. But here I was. Nothing had changed. There goes Walgreens, the CVS, Wendy's, except I remembered them again. Though this is the first time this has happened to me, it was not the last. A month after the first occasion, it happened again. Though this time I was driving home from work. I was not listening to music this time, rather I had the window open, just feeling the breeze hit my face. Only thing I can recall, a moment before I got confused, was a bright light and a sudden wave of tiredness. Has this ever happened to anyone else? Did I just glitch? Dimension jump? Aliens? I don't know. But this is something that's kept me up at night wondering, what the fuck happened to me? I never should have said yes when she asked me out. I knew something was off from the moment she talked to me, but whatever. She was cute, and I hadn't been on a date in a while. The date itself was awkward. She was a shy girl and didn't talk much. She didn't really make eye contact with me either. She kept glancing over my shoulder, but I assumed it was just because she was shy. I still wanted the date to go well, so I tried to coax her into opening up a bit. Eventually, I think it worked, and she started to talk a bit more. Still couldn't shake off that feeling that something was off, but at least the date was going somewhere at this point. After we'd eaten our food, I noticed she was still glancing over my shoulder. I asked if everything was okay, but she said she was still feeling a little nervous. At least she was being honest with me. When dessert came, we both went to take a forkful of our slice of chocolate cake, and as she moved her hand towards the cake, it brushed mine, and I noticed a small folded bit of paper fall out. I looked at her and she gave me this scared look, as if it was urgent. I took the paper and read it under the table so no one else could see. I felt a chill run through my body as I read the words. Something's been following you for days. Don't let it know you know. I looked up. I could see that she was almost paralysed with fear. "I have to use the bathroom," I said. I can't explain it exactly, but I felt this sense of immense dread in my body. I went to the bathroom. I went over to the sink and washed my face, hoping the cold water would shake off this feeling. After I had finished, I felt a little relieved. I raised my head and looked at myself in the mirror. I told myself that everything was fine and that this girl was just so crazy. Definitely crazy, she had to be crazy. And I was about to leave the restroom, pay for the check and get this awful day over with, when something caught my eye. I felt like I would pass out. I could see, in the mirror's reflection, scratched into the door of the bathroom stall behind me, the words, "I know." I lay in bed, slowly re-entering reality as the dark eyelids that mask my eyes start to open. The curtains are open, and I must be awake already. Today's the big game. I look over towards the analog clock hanging on the wall. 1 o'clock. In an almost comical way, I jump up and run straight for the bathroom. I hear my son call for me as my footsteps ripple across the hard wooden floors. I brush my teeth, get changed, and run downstairs. Kevin, my son, is getting ready for his big baseball game today. Personally, I don't know much about baseball, but it's for him. Kevin asked me where his cap is, and I try to stay awake to respond. I think it's downstairs. I smile as he dashes towards the basement. Anna comes towards me holding a cup of coffee. I thank her as I take a sip of heaven. This is one of those moments where I tell myself I have the greatest wife ever. Kevin runs back up, and I lift myself from the couch. "You ready to go?" I start up the car, and we zoom off. Before I know it, I'm sitting on the bleachers watching Kevin. I look at my phone, but the sound of a bat hitting a ball really hard, and I mean really fucking hard. It startles me. It's fucking loud. It's the loudest thing you'll ever hear. But you know what else is loud? The sound of a neck snapping. I look up and put my phone away. Kevin is on the ground. Everyone is running towards him, including me. Everything from then, I don't remember. It was a freak accident. His neck snapped and he died immediately. Anna is crying uncontrollably. Her family is talking to her on the phone while I go to bed, tears streaming down my face. I wake up, curtains open. 1 o'clock. Something's off. There's a slight ripple in the air. I go down. I don't even brush or change. I come down, but the air ripples more and more until bright colours start appearing. I can hear voices. I scream as I close my eyes. I open them, and I'm at a baseball field watching Kevin play. What the hell? Am I going insane? What in God's name is the sound of a ball being hit, followed by a neck snapping? The next day goes exactly the same, except it doesn't. Anna looks different. I don't know what it is, but I go to bed and I wake up and the same thing happens as yesterday, every goddamn day. The voices get clearer each time until one day I can hear them. All systems ready, prepare initiation for AWK-87B. We're heading exactly 100 years back, April 7th, 2000, and then all of a sudden it's, what the hell is that? Something's wrong. Multiple loops over multiple dimensions. Shut it off, shut the damn thing off. I'm at a baseball game now and I feel like my ears deceive me. This is happening because of an experiment? My life is ruined because of an experiment? I wake up. Things are gonna change today. I tie a rope to the ceiling. This is it. This is my goodbye. You know my story. I don't want to suffer this anymore. I wake up. This is not my child. That was all I could think. My husband asked me if everything was okay. Who is this? I said, staring at the little girl I'd never seen before. Standing in my house, dressed in my daughter's clothes. Where is Lisa? My husband gave me a worried look, and the girl who was not Lisa looked positively terrified. What do you mean? Said my husband. Are you feeling okay? Why was he evading my question? Why couldn't he just answer? I took a deep breath and tried to remain calm. I'll be alright, I said, as soon as you tell me where my daughter is. My husband frowned and the little girl's eyes welled up with moisture. My husband placed a protective hand on her shoulder and leaned down towards her ear. He whispered, "Go on upstairs, honey. Mummy's not feeling too well." The little girl wasted no time in doing what he said. She clutched her school books to her chest and barreled past me, rushing upstairs. I heard the door of my daughter's room slam. The look on my husband's face was a mix of pity and restrained anger. "You haven't been taking your medication," he said. "Don't try to deny it. I can see it in your eyes." I waved my hand in a dismissive gesture. "I don't need them. They make my mind all fuzzy." The anger on my husband's face became less restrained. Well-etched frown lines beneath his lips deepened. "Do you remember what happened the last time you said that?" he asked. The suggestion was enough. A swarm of shattered and confused images flooded my mind, like a wave of nausea that comes before you vomit. My husband screaming, covered in blood. "Look what you made me do," he was shrieking. "Look what you made me do." I felt the floor tip beneath me, and before I knew what had happened, I found myself falling backwards into my husband's arms. Hot tears were streaming down my cheeks, and my body convulsed with violent sobs. My husband gently brushed my hair and whispered in my ear, "Shh. It's not real, honey. I promise it's not real." I silently nodded my assent. I let him carry me up to our bedroom and lay me gently down on the bed. He walked over to the dresser, where he kept a cocktail of drugs that I took every day to maintain my sanity. I swallowed them gratefully. Soon my mind was going fuzzy. I could feel myself becoming a pliable zombie that could be told anything and made to do anything. Of course I knew it was wrong. That girl was not Lisa. I knew it wasn't me who had been driven insane by our daughter's death, but my husband. I knew he had kidnapped that girl when she was a toddler and brainwashed her into believing she was Lisa. But most importantly, I knew that if I didn't take my pills, if I shattered his precariously built illusion, that he would kill the girl and start all over again, just like the last time.